Shop Fix. It's for the love of woodworking.
I have 4 cedar boards here because we're going to be doing a mock glue up. Now, in woodworking, having nice flush seams is super important when we're doing a glue up like this to make it look the best that we can. Now, oftentimes, even after jointing these boards, when we put them together, for some reason, they just don't line up as flush as we'd like them to. Now, these obviously have some gaps, some pretty bad gaps. To make sure that these boards and the seams are perfectly flush, we're going to be using a method called the IO method. And Nathan, a current student at Pitt State, taught me this method. And it's super simple once you learn how to do it, and it's going to make it to where you have perfect seams for your joints every time. So when you're doing the IO method, I stands for inside and O stands for outside. So the I's will go on the inside of the fence and the O will be on the outside of the fence. So on these edges, since they're the outside of our panel, we won't need to joint those. We'll start with I. So this will be the inside of the fence, O for the outside, I for the inside, O for the outside, I for the inside, O for the outside. Now, when we go to joint these boards, if there's an I, we'll put this face into the fence. If it's an O, we'll face this board out from the fence, and so on and so forth. And when we go to match these up, they'll be perfect seams. Another tip that you're going to want to remember is to always draw a triangle on your boards so you can easily match them back up. So we've properly jointed these boards depending on if it was outside or inside. And now when we bring these boards together, they're perfectly flush. The reason why the IO method works so great when joining boards and creating perfect flush seams is because it's compensating for any inaccuracy in your jointer fence. So I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that my fence was at a perfect 90-degree angle because I was relying on it to make sure it gave me great seams and flush jointed edges. However, with the IO method, you don't have to rely on the accuracy of the jointer fence. The reason why the IO method works so great to compensate for any inaccuracies in the fence. Imagine if I had done both of these boards on the inside, so face the board inward. If there was a discrepancy on the angle of the jointer fence, when matched together, that inaccuracy would be doubled. However, since I did one board on the outside and one board on the inside, it matches that because the discrepancy in the angle is exact opposite to one another. So when you match it together, it creates a perfect seam. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button. And as always, I wish you the best of luck with your future woodworking projects. Take care.